Question over there. Yes, please. We're running almost the hour, but certainly got time for another question. Please identify yourself.
Thank you. My name is David Friedman, and I had a question I was going to ask you, but I want to just take you back for a second to what you just said, because I don't quite understand. You're saying that in this particular instance, if you want more openness, are you saying that the negotiation should be open, that we should be saying what the city is offering and what he is counter-proposing? Is that what you mean by openness? Because I don't understand what you're saying.
Absolutely, just letting them know what's going on. A lot of times we go into negotiations, we go into closed doors, and I don't feel that it's always completely beneficial for every part of negotiation just because we can. And we are allowed by state statute to go into closed session, anything dealing with negotiation. But I think we got to look at when we're doing that, is it absolutely necessary to go into closed session? Sure, we can do it, but do we have to do it? And in some of those instances, I don't think that we have to do it. And I think it would be better to lay everything out on the table and go into closed session only when it is absolutely necessary. And I think in some of these cases where we have gone into closed session, evidence suggests that we didn't absolutely need to, and we could have been more open in some of the dealings that we have been dealing with regarding the golf course.
Well, I think you were asking for clarification from Mr. Harder. Negotiations, when you're dealing with money and big deals, you don't take that out into the open or the city's going to come out losing. So, I mean, there are negotiations where you have to go behind closed doors because that's how it's done. I mean, anybody in business knows that.
Okay. Just a second. Do you want to follow up on that?
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask a question I really intended. I just wanted to clarify that point there.
Okay.
My question for both candidates, if you think of the city of La Crosse as if it was a business, and I know that these days with everything going on in the news, it's not always great to say that you're talking about a business, but this would be a business with over 500 employees, $100 million budget, and over 50,000 customers, that being the population of the city of La Crosse. If you think of it in that terms, if you were interviewing or being asked to interview for that business to be the president of UW La Crosse or the president of the train company, what educational, and please be specific, what educational and or work experiences that you bring to the table would say that you would be hired to be the president of this $100 million business? Because that's what you're asking us to do to vote for you. You're asking us to put you in charge of a $100 million budget. So please be specific when you answer.
Okay, we'll give them about 1 minute each on that, and then we'll break to go to the city council one. A minute isn't much, but give it a shot.
Yesterday I did the vision of La Crosse in 2 minutes. I'll try to do your answer. It's a good question and very fair. I started working when I was 14. I've got about 40 years of experience in working, give or take a few years when I took off when my children were little. I've been an administrator for 20 years in different kinds of capacities. I've run a small business. I know how it is to have to, sometimes as the head of a nonprofit, to not take a check because you've got to get the other people who work with you a check. I oversee budgets in my current job in administration. I am qualified by education. I have worked, and I'm talking fast, I know. I've worked a lot in the community in different capacities, been the treasurer of many, many different groups, volunteered extensively, know how things operate and know how to lead. Been on, you can look at I did bring sheets, you can look at my resume just from what the committees that I've served on with the city. I've chaired committees, and I think to run a business like this size, definitely you need experience in education.
Well, as far as education, I've taken some classes in political science, economics. I'm definitely not going to say that my education, or I think anybody's education or experience, is completely sufficient to take over this size of an operation, because quite frankly, I think when any executive takes over in political office, whether it be the President of the United States, the governor of our state, or any state in our union, I don't think any of them are 100% completely educated and experienced enough to take over to their position. But obviously their constituents see something in them that they feel they're ready to take on the challenges that are in front of them. So that experience, just being a plain grunt worker, being a servant at the lowest level, I started real young working, and I'm not going to say that I'm 100% experienced, and I'm going to meet every challenge that this city faces head on, all on my own. But I will say that I'm going to listen to people, and ultimately it's going to be up to them to decide whether I'm ready or not, whether Dorothy is ready or not. I don't think either of us are completely qualified. But it's a matter of listening to people, being directed by them, and I don't think anyone will make the wrong decision if they make that decision based on what they feel the people want.
Okay, we're going to take a couple-minute break. For those of you who might find it important, the restrooms, you go out the door, turn right again, and it's about across from here down the hall. So we'll reconvene in about 5 minutes.